second day of this trial to start. But given how things ended yesterday, good morning. The mood still is tense. Not that that's any surprise. Oh, hey! You need the paper this morning, boss? Huh? The paper? That came out of left field. You didn't read it? You don't know the big news. Somebody's spotted an abominable snowman way up in the mountains. Tell me that you know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Athena. You might show up in the forest where you live, Junie. So you better watch out, okay? You really should read the story for yourself. I can't even begin to do it justice. Justice? Uh-huh. Oh, poor Apollo. It's all my fault. Athena! Oh, Junie! What was I thinking? I'm so sorry! What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank goodness. He'd been assaulted by someone with a blow to his head and was lying unconscious. Rushed him to the hospital right away, and it looks like he's going to pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble into a scene like that. Is Miss Woods alright, Athena? Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on that sofa over there. I guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo. Poor Junie. She believes that the reason Apollo was attacked is because he was helping her look for something in that courtroom. Oh, I can see why she'd think that. By the way, how are you doing? Who? Me? Yeah, you. I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright? Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who study analytical psychology are great at times like these. After all, they've learned how to control their own emotions too. Somehow I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. But there's no denying she's a real trooper. Apollo doesn't remember a thing, does he? Yeah. He can't recall anything from the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in court before who assaulted him. Doctor said it's probably due to that hit he took to the head. Assaulted in a court of law, and losing your memory at that. You know how that feels. But who in the world would do such a thing, huh, Mr. White? This point I get my hands on the coward who won our Apollo! Oh no, Athena. I thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Just focus on helping Miss Woods, okay? I admit, I'm just as upset as you. Okay, boss, you're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we clear Junie's name. That's the spirit? Now, let's see. I'll check the court record one more time before the trial starts. To Mr. White, I'm ready whenever you are. Alright, let's get ready to rumble. You bet. With everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't have time for a proper investigation. I can't let that stop me though. I have to get this right For Miss Wood's sake, and Apollo's too. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready, Your Honor. Now then, I believe I instructed the prosecution to further their investigation. Were you able to locate the remote in question? I'm afraid the remote is still missing, Your Honor. I must say I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed. I apologize, Your Honor. I think the prosecution is just as unprepared as I am. There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial. A separate matter, you say? And what might that be? I assume you are aware that another incident occurred during yesterday's trial. I think of course I just saw Mr. Justice in the rules of courtroom number 4. Uh-oh. As you bring that up. Yes, what a truly harrowing experience. It must have been poor Mr. Justice. At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods. He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he? The prosecution was to indict Miss Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice's assault. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the incident under deliberation here is the courtroom bombing. The assault of Mr. Justice has nothing to do with this trial. But I believe there is a connection between this case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Well, that's according to courtroom number 4. This is the location of courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. As you can see, it's quite close to where Detective Arme's body was found. The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice? Why indeed would you believe the murder to be Mr. Payne? I believe Mr. Justice found something in that courtroom while Miss Woods was with him. Evidence that fingered her as the perpetrator of the bombing. He found some incriminating evidence? Precisely, and so I summarized that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him.
Objection!
Jenny would never do such a thing. He was devastated when we found the power hurt like that. Besides, please control your outbursts. It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw even closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself. Very well. Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted on the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice. What? Why are you listening to Mr. Tropay over there? Although, considering our conversation yesterday, I think Apollo might have figured something out. Wonder what it was. He told me, I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper. Maybe the two incidents really are related after all. I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself. Very well. Bailiff, please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand. I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop. Miss Woods. Guess he's still really upset about Apollo. Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of courtroom number 4 of Mr. Justice, did you not? Yes, I did. Good, good. If you would then please testify about what happened to the court. During the trial yesterday, I was woken by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom rooms together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I tried to attack Apollo. Oh, and I was such a kind person. So, Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell. What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature. May look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too. I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one out. But one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins? I think Apollo might have figured something out. Something? What kind of something? Something to do with the courtroom bombing kind of something, I think. Oh, new evidence for the case, was it? That's a very big kind of something indeed. I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away.
Objection!
Just as I thought. There is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor. What lie is that? Once he learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence. No.
Objection!
Miss Woods, we paid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deed there in the courtroom ruins. What on earth? Do you see it? There in front of Mr. Justice's right hand. Witness the message he left us. It's written in blood. WOODS. Why isn't that? That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters. What? I submit that Mr. Justice stuffed us with the name of his attacker before he fainted. No, it can't be true. I'm gonna Apollo write my name. Mr. White, the number of him in that message. Why would he do this? Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. I discovered Apollo yesterday. Apollo! No! We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard the female scream, they ran in and condoned off the area. After that, they were there and couldn't move over Apollo the whole time. Couldn't investigate anything ourselves and had to do everything to the police. Still, I never thought they would find somebody writing there. Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. White. On the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me. We went to the courtroom ruins together.
Hold it!
Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins? medicine to stop my coughing. Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4? Dropped it in the heat of the moment. Bumwap whiny. He was keeping my medicine safe for me. Here's a little compartment that I can put things in, you see. If only Fanta had the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted. I put my medicine for my coughing fit inside Bumwap whiny. When I told Apollo about it, he said he'd help me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there, I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there. I started looking for my whiny in that area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo is so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest. The way he makes him sound, you'd think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. Oh, wait. So that's why you went to the ruins. I see. It seems to be quite an important fact. Please add to your testimony, Miss Woods. Apollo started looking for Bumwap whiny near the witness stand where there was no rubble.
Objection!
So he started his search of the witness stand, you say? That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He was being so brave and strong. But that's odd. Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that. But he was, and he still is. He may not look it, but he really is brave and kind too. No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. What you are claiming is something that no one should have been able to do. But I should think that anyone can be brave and kind if they want it to be, Mr. White. True. Anyone can be brave and kind, but if you would please take a look at this diagram. The courtroom in this state, how was it possible to walk up to the witness stand? Oh, I see your point. Doorable box off access to that area around the witness stand. Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it. Wait, no, I'm not so sure it matters. A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know. But that's precisely what Mr. White does best. I call slander, Your Honor. So, was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy from just this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene? Let me see, Your Honor. Ah, yes. I have one more. Here it is. It's a more pulled back version of the photo I presented before. Huh? What's that? Like a metal on wheels. Mr. Payne, is the metallic object in the photo Mr. Tornade's bomb transport case? That's right. Is there some problem? Ah, yes. That transport case was there in courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. It must have been where ever since. Oh, that's it. Miss Woods, have you remembered something? Yes, I just realized. Its position. It's different from before. Its position? The position of what? The position of that big metal thing? The bomb transport case? Yes, when Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the cases in the photo was open space. So it was easy to search the stand. I see. So was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it. I recall, I think it was more to the right. To the right? Then that means... In that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's attack. Who cares where the transport case was when? What difference does it make? It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about.
Objection!
What a transport case was has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, at some point it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear. What? Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack. Yes, Your Honor. This diagram represents the crime scene as shown in the photo. And this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport case was here at the time of Apollo's attack.
Take that!
Your Honor, I said that this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault. That's... inconceivable! Miss Woods, was this where the transport case was when you saw it? Yes, that's where it was. Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has no innocent fact about this position. The transport case covers up the writing and blood. Exactly. The transport case was in that position at the time of the assault. And no message could have been written there because the case was in the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing.
Objection!
No, I certainly believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position. He's obviously lying.
Objection!
The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than Miss Wood's testimony alone. What? There's this proof you're talking about. It's right here in the crime photo. I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. White. White in this photo indicts that the transport case was moved after the assault.
Take that!
Please take a look at the mark that warns over Mr. Justice's bandages here. I see it. But what is it? This mark was made by one of the canisters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. After Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved. Just as Miss Woods said, the case was covering the writing at the time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left that message in blood. No! You did it, boss. It was a real nail biter, but you pulled it off. Don't you believe that the prosecution became like a house of cards? Order in the court. Mr. White, that was a very clear deduction. It was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that! Boss, sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you. I have just one question, Mr. White. Yes, Your Honor? If Mr. Justice didn't leave this message in blood, then who did? What? Oh! Well... Looks like I should have taken that train of thought through to the last station. Well, I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. White's famous bluffing technique, is it? I have this feeling. It brings me back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin. See, Mr. White, the judge kind of makes you sound no better than a two-bit con man. You made your argument with such confidence, Mr. White. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence. Hey, I should have just asked the question you didn't catch on either, Buster. What now, boss? I hope you can't bluff your way into a corner. Phoenix, think there must be a way through this. I have to dig my way out to the truth somehow. We could have learned the message in blood. It wasn't Apollo who could have left the bloody message.
Take that!
To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far. There's no turn back now. Besides Apollo, there was one more person who shed blood at this crime scene. A person who shed blood? You don't mean... Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace Arme who left behind this message in blood. What? What? Detective Arme? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Not really.
Objection!
What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense. First glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message. Uh-oh. I see. The photo makes it clear there was enough blood to write all those letters. And Mr. Justice did survive. I suppose he didn't bleed very extensively in that case. Why would Detective Arme write the defendant's name? There's no connection between the two whatsoever. I don't even know who the lady who was killed. I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connections between the victim and the defendant. They had never even met each other. That's very true. Well then, let's see. Maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be. The intended meaning? Not what it appears to be? Maybe the message was not intended to be words. Coming from you, that's quite the bold statement, Mr. White. You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have some other meaning? Yes, Your Honor. Something I pulled out of a wormhole. It could turn out to be true, right?
Objection!
It clearly says words, as anyone can plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
Objection!
But Candace Arme was a detective. Maybe words only mean something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example. I didn't think of that. May have tricked His Honor, but you never get the best of me. I have a thing for staying on the weekends, as you might have already guessed. And there's no such weird good as woods in this state, dear Mr. White. Is that a fact? Look at me. I know as much as you do about police codes. Enough of this. I was quite taking with the defense's new theory. If they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here. No, please wait, Your Honor. Very well. Before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation. So, Mr. White, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing? Well, I believe it's... And no stalling. If you can't come up with an answer quickly, I will declare this discussion officially over. I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have been besides the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language. Maybe it's a code. Think, Phoenix. You can do this. Which piece of evidence will tell us what the word woods really means?
Take that!
The bomb transport case? About head up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. White. Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. L10015R. Doesn't this string look vaguely familiar? L100. What does that have to do with anything? What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand? Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in the coin photo. Oh, I think I see it. Theodore, it's one on my side. It says woods. Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. The first character isn't a W. It's actually an L and a 1. The next two are zeros. Oh, my goodness! The true meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Miss Wood's name. It's a number engraved on this bomb transport case.
Objection!
What are you talking about? Next part doesn't make any sense. Next number is a 1, but the bloody writing says D.
Objection!
But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. Please erase the third downward stroke of the W and the curved part of the D. Whoa, would you look at that? L-I-L-O-I-S. No, Your Honor, it isn't meant to be read as a word. This number is L10015. If you take away the final R, it's the exact same number that's on the bomb transport case.
Objection!
Erase the 2 lines and they match up, you say? I can change anything into anything else simply by erasing 2 lines. If we erase 2 lines from your name, would you be happy as Mr. I? Well, would you, Mr. I? Only right spelling is right. Okay, doing pretty well here. I think I've drawn the right conclusion. Check up Arme's real message says it's the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the 2 lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people. What? The original message taken to the Arme left behind was the transport case number. Whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message. You're right, boss. What do you suppose Detective Arme was trying to tell us? Good question. What does this number represent? Do you see this number here? That is my identification number. Arme lost the life of a courtroom barman. The dying message could only have had one purpose. No! To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing. Well, it wasn't suspense, Mr. White. Tell us who she was trying to name. The culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than...
Take that!
The defense wishes to indict Mr. Ted Turnabout on the charges of the courtroom bombing. Ted Turnabout? Apparently disabling bombs is Mr. Turnabout's only specialty. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. So when he was caught in the blast, he left his bomb transport case number as a dying message. he used Mr. Turnabout's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
Objection!
Why would anyone go out of their way to write an ID number? Why they simply write the person's name? He's got a good point there. You can't stay to that, Mr. White. Only Detective Arme would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arme couldn't recall Mr. Turnabout's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's certainly possible they wouldn't have been familiar with each other. And maybe using the ID number was a way to hide its true meaning from the real culprit. Just lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing. No matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind her message. Dr. Mancy wrote Mr. Turnabout's ID number.
Objection!
Just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arme who wrote it. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. Detective Arme had left the message to have been found at that time.
Objection!
Naturally, Mr. Turnabout hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so. What? Mr. Turnabout was able to cover the message up because he's the first person to discover the bloody writing was Mr. Turnabout himself. I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to assert safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body. Mr. Turnabout saw that the victim had written his ID number. He used the bomb transfer case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure. So that's why the message of blood was under the transport case. He didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. If he didn't report the body right away, he would look suspicious. So there's always a not to serve another function. Mr. Turnabout used them in another incident. Oh, you started Mr. Justice! Exactly. Mr. Turnabout hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purpose. So he didn't clear it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it. By adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arme left behind. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack. So that means the only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber. He was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Turnabout. Ah! Order in the court. Order, I say. Looks like we will have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Turnabout take the witness stand. Yes, Your Honor. That was great, Mr. White. Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try. Finally drawn Mr. Turnabout back onto the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, Goggle Man. Now watch me take your lies apart.